and welcome back to another episode of the Practice Players Podcast. This is going to be episode number 20, and today we are joined by a former high school teammate of all three of ours, Jaxon Kohler, who is currently a forward at Michigan State University. Jaxon, it's great to have you on, and to start us off, explain your basketball journey and how you got to the place you're at today.
Man, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for having me. You know, basketball has just always been a, huge part of my life. And, through high school, I've kind of bounced around a lot, kind of going from private school to academy to, um, you know, school to school. And then, towards the beginning of my senior year, I went to a prep school called Southern California Academy, and it was around then where I was approached by Michigan State and decided to go on a visit. And the moment I got there, it just felt like home. Like I just had a instant connection with it, and therefore, after a little talk with my family, like it just we all just knew it was the place to be.
So I wanted to get back to your high school kind of AAU days. Obviously, you played with Strive for Greatness. How was it being coached, by LeBron and kind of being around such an impactful player?
Man, it honestly, it's every kid's dream. It's their dream to meet the guy that they see on TV, scoring 40 points a night. Like it was a dream. I mean, at the beginning, it was very intimidating. It was, having him watch you play, didn't want to mess up. But over time, I got more and more comfortable, asking him questions, having him coach me and, kind of giving me guidance, and the more he talked to me, the more I felt comfortable asking him, questions, about the game. And he has such a high level IQ of the game that, I'm not sure I've, met with anyone else. And having him just kind of support, me and my teammates, it was a crazy experience.
Yeah, few people get to experience something like that, so it's awesome. And all those viral videos, I think the one where you went off, you're doing all your post moves, he's like jumping up in his seat. That's always fun when it pops up on my timeline.
I I try to I like every time I see that video, I'm just like yes. I remember in the moment I was just like, Jack's gotta play it cool, you gotta play it cool. But
But yeah, touching on current days now, you sort of got into it a little bit, but if you could elaborate more on why you chose Michigan State. I know you had a few other schools. Iowa was towards the top of your list, and that's a phenomenal program. But what sort of made a Sparty your ultimate choice?
yeah, at the time like the towards the end of my recruitment, I had a lot of good, schools, that, offered, me a scholarship. And I remember going to Michigan State, and I've had, really good contacts, with their coaches and, some of their players. And I remember showing up and, talking to head coach Tom Izzo. And just from that moment, you just kind of had a different feeling. You just kind of had like a different kind of, he had a different approach than I feel like most guys did. He was very genuine. He was very sincere. He seemed like a very, caring personality. I mean, because like at that time, you're a little nervous, because he has such a high reputation. He's got, Hall of Fame coach, and you're just trying not to say the wrong thing. But, when I was around him, I felt very comfortable. I felt very, you know, at home. And then once I got to meet the players, it just got better from there. They kind of, opened their arms towards me and, kind of, invited me in to, hang out with them and, just kind of, spend time with them. And they were very nice. They were very genuine. And honestly, the entire time I was just looking at my parents like, this is, this is a special experience. This is not like all the other places.
Yeah, when it's home, and definitely seems like you're loving it there, and always rooting for you guys. Second favorite team in the Big Ten, except when you guys are playing the Scarlet and Gray. But sort of adding on to that Tom Izzo, legendary coach, probably going to get a billion more stories for us next time. But up to this point in your career, what has been your favorite Tom Izzo story, for better or for worse?
Um, where to begin? Um, Honestly, like there have been a lot of, great stories. There's been a lot of crazy stories, because he's just such a fascinating character, I mean, he's, off the court, he's such a great guy, he has such a, he truly cares for his community and for his school and for what he, you know, believes in. And then on the court, he pushes you to your max and then some. And that's kind of the person you want to play for. And I mean, that was one of the things that I, wanted to stay here for, is because I know that he was going to push me, harder than anybody has, ever pushed me. And I remember, um, it was towards the beginning of, um, like the preseason. We had just played, Gonzaga and Kentucky and Alabama, and we were going through some serious games. And at the time, I was, just kind of a little down, just because, it's started freshman year and you're going into a whole new ball game from high school to college. And I went into his office one day and I was kind of expecting him, to kind of be like, just tough it up. Like, it's only going to get harder from here, just kind of being a little tough. But I remember walking in and he was like, hey, everything that's happening, is happening for a reason. And um, this is a process, and you have to learn how to love the hard times, and you have to learn how to love the good times, because good times aren't always going to be there, but at the same time, the bad times aren't going to be always be there either. And I remember walking out of that meeting, just having a whole different kind of like mindset and feelings towards the rest of the season. So I think some of the meetings I've had with him, kind of like one on one, have been the most impactful on me.
That's powerful. Definitely seems like
Yeah.
a great coach to play for.
No, I during high school I kind of bounced around a lot, but without a doubt, Coach Tom Izzo has been one of the most special coaches I've ever played for. He knows how to push you. He knows how to get the most out of you. He knows how to care for you. He knows how to put yell at you. Like he's a great guy.
Well, bouncing off of that, Jaxon, obviously not only did you complete your first year at Michigan State as an athlete, but you also completed it as a student. What's one thing this year that you learned living across the country away from your family that maybe you didn't know growing up?
College is a lot easier than high school. No, I mean for real though. I mean honestly, kind of growing up in high school, like during kind of the COVID years, a little bit, it was a little hard to be an online student and kind of learn from a distance. But coming to Michigan State, as a student, they do a really good job here of making sure that you're on top of your classes, on top of your studies, and you're pursuing an academic goal, not just an athletic goal. Um, I say that there's a lot of good resources here to help you achieve at your academic goals. And honestly, going into college, I thought it was going to be so hard because just when most high school think when most high school kids think of college, they think of like, oh, I have to do everything on my own. Like I'm not going to get any help. Teachers are good or professors are going to be so hard on me, and they're going to, not cut me any slack. But um, honestly, it kind of felt like the opposite. There was so much help, there's so much resources, and um, teachers, genuinely care too. They want you to succeed.
I feel like I'm speaking for all of us when we all kind of have different college experiences. Obviously, I'm at Oregon, Nick State, Ole, UNLV, Dave's Ohio State. I feel like college, I completely agree with you. I feel like for even our players and our managers, there's so many resources and available academic advisors. And college, I feel like it's more just like a community, like everybody wants to see each other succeed. And No, it's a really good point you had.
Yeah.
I also want to ask about let's get back to basketball. What player, or I've seen you get compared to guys like Nikola Jokic and Tim Duncan, but according to you, whose game do you model, or who do you want to model?
I mean, over the last couple of years in high school and everything, people have always, said, Baby Jokic or, Drew Timmy or Kevin McHale or whatever, or Zach Randolph. But to be honest, I want to be known as the Jaxon Kohler. I don't want to be known as, anyone like baby anyone else. I don't want to be known as junior anyone else. I want to, create my name, as, as a legit name. Because they're great players and everything. I mean, I do. I used to love, being compared to Jokic and everything, but then it's like, but I want people to be like, Jaxon Kohler is different. He's not like this person, or he's not exactly like this person. I'm trying to create a name for myself, and that's kind of the goal that's like one of the long-term goals is to, be my own player.
Absolutely love that.
Obviously, you've played for a couple different programs in high school, and obviously you're playing with some great players in college. Excluding us three in here, give us your all-time starting five of teammates that you've ever played with.
Us three would be, that's a
we
lot.
definitely
would be three of the
obviously.
5 starters. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
make it a
didn't
little
want to
bit
add
harder
us
for
in.
you this time.
We'll be 6, 7, 8 off the bench. Who's the starting 5?
Man, that is hard. Okay, so like out of high school teams and AAU teams, or just high school teams?
Anything. Even you
Any
can include your
teammates you've ever
college
played
teammates
with.
too. Let's just stick to high school. High school
Yeah.
AAU. High school and AAU
Okay.
teams.
Okay, let's see. I would probably say I'm gonna start with center. All right, for center, I would take Mady Sissoko at center. I play with him right now, but I also played with him my freshman year of high school. For forward, me, and then for the 3, I would probably use. This is hard. You might have to give me a second to think about this.
You're good.
I know for the 2 spot, I would pick Jaden Hardy. Played with him sophomore year at Coronado High School. And then for point guard, I would choose
I feel bad because you can't choose one of us 3. It's like it's eating at you right now.
Man,
Like,
I know.
man.
It's like at the front of my mind. I'm like, oh, they're just right there. But like, I'd probably take Amari Abram. I played with him senior year at Southern California Academy at point guard. And then the 3, I would probably choose Jalen Reed. I also played with him senior year high school of Southern California Academy.
Do you need to get out of there, or is that a common occurrence in East Lansing?
There you go. There's always some kid in the building that just does something stupid. There's always that one guy. So hopefully it wasn't on our floor or anything, or in our apartment.
Hey,
I was really scared there. I thought the episode was going to end.
No, me too. I was like, dang, man. Like, I just started like.
It adds to the authenticity of the show, but adding on to authenticity, obviously one of just the most genuine people that I know, basketball related or not. And not just saying that because you're on here. I mean, I've told numerous people that. And one thing I really admire about you is sort of your belief and your faith, and how that's a backbone for everything you do on and off the court. So just sort of diving into that, what keeps you, so strong with that relationship and your faith, and how does that mold you into Jaxon Kohler?
I want to, start off with that by saying I would really appreciate that. Thank you. It means a lot, that you guys think of me like that. My faith kind of started when, I was younger, younger than when I started playing basketball. It's always been a part of me, like ever since I've been, born, I feel like it's just always been a part of me. I grew up in the Mormon church, and growing up in Utah, Utah is, you know, home, to a lot of people that believe in the Mormon culture and religion. And my family has been, huge believers, and they really take that seriously. And so growing up, we took that seriously too. And um, growing up in high school, kind of going from one academy, moving away from family to another, going to Vegas, kind of, outside of my home state, and then going back to Utah again, but in COVID, and then going to California away from my family again. Just always just kind of being, in a weird, tough situation. Um, I feel like, my faith has been kind of the rock that's held not just me, but our family together. And when you have something like that, it's hard to ignore or like not appreciate or kind of tell people about it, and um the one thing that I want people to know about me is that when you think of Jaxon Kohler, I hope they don't think of just a basketball player. I hope they think of, my other, like my spiritual side, because I say that's, a huge, I don't think there's Jaxon Kohler without that spiritual side. It's something that I, invest a lot of time in, and I invest a lot of, personal faith into. And I think it's, taken me to a lot of great places, and it's gotten me through some hard times, and it's something that I appreciate every day.
It's beautiful. And not getting too political on the show here, but sort of one of the things I love about basketball is, I mean, doesn't matter your background, your skin color, your beliefs, it sort of just brings a lot of people together and creates this family aspect, and it helps you sort of see things in a bigger picture, which I believe helped my mindset. And it's just powerful stuff, which is why I love the game so much.
Yeah. No, it's honestly like I feel like I've had a lot of, platforms to kind of like, share, what I believe in, because I mean, whether it was AU or high school or prep school, I would tell them that I'm coming from Utah, and the first thing they always ask me is, "Are you Mormon?" And I'm always like, "Yep, yep," and I get excited to kind of tell them, and you know, a lot of people seem really interested, and that honestly makes me really happy because it's something that like I said before, it's a big part of me. And so when coming to Michigan State, I feel like I had a even bigger platform to kind of spread that message and kind of, like, why do I play ball? It's because I love it, but it's also because I really feel like it's God's calling for me. Um, there's something that, I always tell people is, um, as a Mormon, after high school, it's, you know, required that you go on a mission. And for people that don't know what a mission is where you get called to serve as a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and you go somewhere around the world to spread the gospel. And a lot of people do it, but there are some people that don't. And I was one of the people that didn't do it. And I just feel like it just wasn't, it just, it was something that I kind of prayed about long and hard for. And I just kind of came to the conclusion that, just right now wasn't the right time. I should, get to school and, go play basketball. And the thing is that I tell everybody is that, God has given me a gift, with basketball and my family and my friends and, all the blessings that he's given me in my life. My gift back to God is what I do with those in the message that I spread. And so that's why, I try to tell as many people as I can, that, my beliefs and all that stuff is because, that's my way of repaying God back for what he's given me.
Powerful perspective. Appreciating God's gifts. I feel like, a lot of people, whether it's your whatever level you're on, I guess talking with basketball, whether it's, star player, bench player, manager, coach, it's sort of just embracing that role and having that mindset, which I love. So that's definitely tremendous insight.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that sports does in general is just bring people together, right? It doesn't even matter if it's basketball, baseball, hockey, football, whatever. Sports, like a lot of my friends that I have, and I think all four of us can really say this, like a lot of the friends we have today, we probably wouldn't have without basketball, right? And we probably
Yeah,
wouldn't have met those friends had it not been for basketball. So I think when people look at basketball and they look at, just the sport itself, I think we kind of look at it as like a community and how we have now sort of inherited everybody else's cultures. And I think that that's one of the beauties of sports.
for sure. And
Speaking
just
on to that, oh,
sorry, just to add on to that, it's like it's something that I like, I've kind of learned over the last year, like when a lot of people think of basketball, they think of like, being competitive, like, and, kind of like like I look out for myself, but like in reality, it's the complete opposite. Like you said, it brings people together, it brings communities together. Like without basketball, like I wouldn't know any of you guys. Like I wouldn't know like 100% of the people that I know, like to be
yeah,
real, And so, the way that you said that, it just made me like think like, basketball isn't something that always, like that can bring you down or that you can make you stress. It's something that like has given you so much in return.
yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with that. Um, in your life right now, going into the future, what are basketball goals and life goals that you have that you want to fulfill?
Um, Life goals, or I'll start with the basketball goals. With the basketball goals, I'm trying to play professional basketball for the NBA and you know, try to become the best player that I possibly can and to look back on my life one day and say, I was a good basketball player and I did what I love to do. Life goals, um I want to, like I said, I want to look back on my life and say I did what made me happy. I don't want to look back on my life and be, I should have done this, I should have done that. I don't want to live in regret. I want to have a family, stay close to the church and, to raise a family, stay close with family and the community that I was raised in. But those are, kind of the big goals that I, try to work on.
To get into kind of obviously we have two Big Ten schools in the call right now. Let's talk about what we see, what we think, what's going to go down in the upcoming season in the Big Ten.
Man, I know that the Big Ten is going to be crazy this year. I mean, I know that Michigan State's got some guys coming back, and we got some guys coming in, and we got we are looking really solid this year, and we're excited to come back out and kind of redeem ourselves from what happened last year. We gave it our best, and sometimes games you just don't win games, and it was unfortunate that we lost, but ever since that moment we lost, we've been really determined to get back to that spot and keep advancing.
Yeah, I mean, the 10 is the 10. It's always one of, if not the most competitive top to bottom conferences in college basketball. Got a lot of talent coming in. Illinois is going to be great. Got a Hawkins and Shannon back. Michigan
Yeah,
State's obviously returning everyone. Purdue got National Player of the Year back. Wisconsin has 91% of their scoring. I mean, everyone in the 10's good. Not disrespecting anyone I didn't name, but I mean, there's a team out there whose color is red, and red is the color of blood, and that's the thirst. That's sort of the mantra. That's what you're coming for, disappointing year last year. I mean, I don't know what he just said, but disappointing year last year, obviously, but showed a little spark in Big Ten tournament of what that core group is capable of. Got all the freshmen coming back. Bruce Thornton, shout out 2P. Got Roddy Gale. Jamison Battle transferring from Minnesota can shoot it. Not going to give too much of a report because obvious reasons in here, but it's going to be a battle. And I could see in Minnesota, the Twin Cities, mid-March, Big Ten title on the line, I could see the Spartans and the Buckeyes going head-to-head, and nothing would make me happier than to send Jaxon home. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I was with you until you said send Jaxon home. I was like, nothing would make me happier to send Dave home, man. Nothing.
But 10's going to be fun. Buckeyes will be back. Grittiest manager squad in the nation. Best coaching staff in the nation. Best group of players. Go Bucks.
Go
A
Green.
couple guys to watch out for. Our 2 former Ducks are now in the conference. Khalil Ware at Indiana and Quincy Gary at Illinois. So you guys better watch out for my 2 boys. Their teams are going to be coming this year, and I'm excited to watch them play in your guys' conference.
Just gives you more reason to tune in, Dan. But you're not safe either. I'll see you in November.
That's gonna be really fun.
This could be a little Final Four preview here too. I don't know how the Rebels looking this year, but could be fun.
Man. Don't worry about us. We're gonna be just fine. Got some Big 12 transfers coming in. We're looking good.
I think we're all kind of
Nonetheless,
itching
better
for the
watch
college
out.
basketball season.
I
Need
know.
it.
This is like the most dead period. Only sports on is baseball. No football to watch. No basketball to watch.
I know it's been really hard not watching any NBA, any college. I mean, no disrespect to baseball. It's just something that I just never watched seriously. Like I haven't watched a baseball game in a while, but yeah, ever since NBA, and football, like there's nothing to watch.
Same thing, yeah.
I mean, Summer League has been a saving grace for me. Shout out Malachi Branham. He's been doing his thing. Justice Suing got some run last night. Bryce Sensabaugh still recovering from his knee, but if he was out there, he'd be killing it. EJ Liddell back and better than ever. I mean, it's the summer of the Buckeyes. That's what people are saying. But one thing that I did want to get into a little bit was it's a fun question that sort of just popped up. What was your welcome to college basketball moment? Whether it was at practice or in a game, just something that happened and you're like, dang, this is tough.
Oh man, there have been so many. Let's see. I remember. I remember it was one of our first games, like our very first game. It was against Grand Valley on November 1st last year, and we were playing them. And I got in. It was super fun. I made my first shot, and then I made my second shot, and then I started getting a little confident, and then I tried to do a spin move, and I missed the shot, and then coach called a timeout. And then before you knew it, he ran up to me, snapped his clipboard, and I was like, I just missed it off the front of the rim. Like that should have gone in, but my bad. And then he smashed his clipboard and started yelling, and I was like, welcome to college. Welcome to Izzo, man. Yeah, that was one. This is college, but like I remember playing on the aircraft carrier against Gonzaga, and I was like, this is way bigger than college. Like this is like, playing against Drew Timmy, but having all those, all those guys, all those veterans, watching and getting to play in like a setting like that. That felt bigger than like welcome to college. That felt like welcome to the like the big leagues. Like welcome to the stuff that you'll never forget for the rest of your life. Like you'll be telling your grandkids, like I played on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, that game, I'm so glad they brought it back. It just seems such a powerful event. Like the game's almost an afterthought versus all the stuff I'm sure you guys got to witness and see.
Yeah, man. Like if I could go back, I would tell myself to enjoy it more because like I know like as a player, you're focused on, playing the other team and scouting report and all that stuff. But like, I mean, we went on a tour the day before, but like as a freshman, as an incoming freshman who is, about to play his third game, you're not thinking about, oh, let's just enjoy it. Just take your time. You're just like, to make sure I'm doing this. I have to make sure I'm like, stretched. I have to make sure I'm, doing good, like, so if I could go back and tell myself something, I would, tell myself to really enjoy it more.
Well, seeing as Michigan State and Ohio State play each other one time, do we want to make a wager here, right now? Public will be listening. Are we thinking, maybe one of the other person has to rock an opposing team shirt if they lose or anything like that? What are we thinking?
Hey,
I'll buy the shirt for you right now for the wager right now.
I'm down for a little shirt wager. We could have a reunion episode or something, post college basketball season and have the other person rocking it. Or even post game. I mean, Jackson, what size? You extra large? Like I'll pack an extra Buckeye shirt in my bag after the game.
I'll take you to the finest. I'll take you to the finest MSU gear shop in town, and I'll let you, shop for all the good shirts and all the special shirts. So
I think that
I'll tell you this though, just how confident I am that I am a extra large.
all right. So, when we go up to East Lansing, I'll pack an extra large Buckeye shirt in my bag. Night before something, link up, go to the Sparty store, you buy a little medium, large shirt, whatever you can find, or if you have extra, then post game we can do a little gear swap for the loser, maybe get a little photo in with it on, have it make its ways on social media. I like this.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm loving this because I already know,
This
I mean,
is a great
tuned
idea.
in. I know me and Dan will be tuned in for that game for sure.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
We'll both have our
100%.
shirts with us, and before we take our victory bus out, we'll get you in the Buckeye shirt and take a nice little photo of you with it on in the Breslin Center if you're down. And obviously, on the off chance we somehow lose that game, I'll throw on the Sparty shirt above my polo, and we can get the flick in then.
Right back at you, man.
All right.
Can't wait to get you in that good green and white. But if there's, yeah.
This is good. Very
This
excited
is
for
great.
this. But yeah, no, this
All
was
right. Yeah. No, Jackson, thank you so much for coming on. I know a lot of our viewers definitely are really going to enjoy this. Really just hit home with the faith. We haven't really had an episode like that. So we really appreciate you coming on. And as always, PvP out.
No, dude, thank you guys. Like seriously, I'm really happy to see all you guys again. I feel like it's been way too long, and honestly, I'm always happy to hear from you guys and see you guys. So, thank you.
of course.
Right back at you, dude. Of course, man.